Pop culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on the Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Hey, already. Good morning, good morning, good morning, sunshines. Hope you're doing well. I've got all my laundry heating up in the other room, getting ready to really kick the weekend off with no laundry for once. So I'm really excited about that. What about you guys? What do you have going on this beautiful Thursday morning? You know, yesterday, I have to be honest with you, yesterday night, I was struggling. I was like, oh my God, am I getting hit with seasonal affective disorder already? Like, the weather is decent. I know there's no sun, but at least it's not cold. I thought that would have been good enough for me, but I was struggling. But then this morning, I open up the news. I hear that P. Diddy's prison sentence got extended. And all of a sudden, I'm so chipper. I think that's all I needed was some good news. Love good news. Just saying. But, to be honest with you guys, I did take some vitamin D this morning, and I ordered some multivitamins as well, just in case there are other vitamins I'm missing to really stay on top of the winter blues. I don't know if you guys deal with them, but if you do, please make sure to get your vitamins in. It is a total game changer. Truly, truly, truly. Anyway, so nice to see y'all here. 2 snaps. I think you had the first comment today, but then it vanished. I don't know where it is, Boo, but shout out to you. Shout out to you too, Gala. Always here before the show even kicks off. So thank y'all so much for being here. It's so nice to have y'all for another episode of the Morning Report. Guess what? I do also have to tell you something else before I run through roll call. We booked our tickets for our Christmas vacation. So we're going to be away from December 19th through December 26th, and we're going to Sevilla in Spain. So I'm really, really excited about that. I've been to Sevilla already, and I really do love it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going back there. And you guys already know I'm looking into buying an apartment in Spain specifically to help me with my winter blues. Sevilla, it's kind of on the list, but not really, because I'm more so looking for a place with a beach nearby. But still, I think it's going to be interesting to check that out anyway, because I do truly, truly love the city. But I digress. More on that later. So again, good morning, 2 snaps, Gala, Kelly, Jamie. What is this about the Northern Lights? I've been hearing that like you guys in North America specifically are getting it so often these days. I'm jelly. I've never seen that with my own eyeballs. Good morning, Amelia, Cami, Ronnie, Kahara, Venetia. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Leah, Terry, Winnie as well. And I know Terry, but it's coming up soon, just tomorrow. Good morning, Kate, Kelly, Rebe, Angie as well. Boss Lady's back. Our Montreal Boo is back. How are you doing? Nice to see you again. And good morning, Teresa as well. One day at a time. What happened? Yeah, the whole Friday thing. Yeah, don't worry. Just less than 24 hours until it's Friday. So shout out to that. Oh la la, Teresa. Good morning. Nice to see you again. J'adore tes cheveux. Oh, mais merci. Ça s'appelle comment, genre? Ça s'appelle French Curl Twist. Mais un peu en mode boho parce que j'ai mis les autres pièces ici en haut. You can't really see them, but I added some more pieces up above. So it's boho French curls, I think it's called, right? Have so much fun in Spain. Yes, thank you. It's going to be so fun. I freaking love Spain. I truly, truly do. It's such a wonderful country, especially the south of Spain. Like, I'm really looking forward to being back. Fluffy says, did you really get to live in Spain for 3 years? We lived a little over, were you in Cadiz? A little over an hour away from Sevilla. It is so beautiful. It is. I love Andalusia. I really, really do. The people are so nice. The food is so good. The music is so good. I'm really, truly looking forward to being back there. I remember the last time I went to Sevilla, it was to celebrate my birthday. So I had a birthday party here in Paris. And like the day after, I flew to Spain for like a long weekend on my own. And it was funny because here to go to like the restaurant from a party, I'm like, wearing my coat, my scarf, my little beret, because it's cold. And then when I went to Spain, I'm in a mini skirt, like Wow, I'm like, you know what? I really, really, truly need a place in Spain. I truly do. I swear I do. I will be the happiest camper ever if I can truly find a nice little pied à terre, genre a studio, one bedroom, something like that, in Spain for not too expensive. That would be a freaking dream. So, je touche le bois. I'm knocking on wood that is the case. Winnie the Cat's from Illinois. Here, the Northern Lights are amazing and something definitely worth putting on the bucket list. Oh, listen, I hate the cold, but I really do want to see these Northern Lights, y'all. Y'all are tempting me. Hey, April, nice to see you, boo. My dad got an operation for cancer, but he's better, so I'm back. Thank God your father is doing well. Thank God, thank God, thank God. I hope that he continues on his way to a speedy recovery. Thanks for the update, boss. Oh my God. Like the Barbara Sevilla. No, I don't know what that is. Should I know? Is that like a song or something like that? And Cadiz is really nice because it's next to Sevilla, but you also have the beach right next to you. So I think that's amazing. Good for you, Fluffy. Listen, I might have to look into Sevilla as well. Actually, Cadiz as well, because I think we get direct flights from Paris too. I know, Teresa, we gotta see it, girl. Good morning, Steph. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're doing well. Gwen says good morning from the bushes. I'll be on the phone for a bit and part of the playback posse. Well, nice to see you, Gwen. Thanks so much for popping in, boo. And I think you did stuff, but listen, you've been going through it, so I forgive you. Don't worry. My birthday was on October 26th, and it was a really, really good time. My lover and I, we went to the north of France. We went to Lille, and then we hit up Belgium for a long weekend together, and it was a lot of fun. Then afterwards here in Paris, I had a birthday party. That was a lot of fun. It really was. Hope all is good with your dad. Yes, guys, thanks so much for sending all the positive vibes for Boss Lady's father in his recovery. Good morning, Kalia. Hope you're having a great day. I really like your name, by the way, Kalia. Boss Lady says, we will manifest that. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Keep your fingers crossed. I'm really hoping for this. I'm like, please, like, let the odds be in my favor, Lord. Lord knows I need a winter escape because I go through it in winter. It is not fun at all. Anyway, y'all, listen, we got a big show coming up for y'all on today's episode of the Morning Report. We've got to talk about Chadwick Boseman finally getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Great news about Diddy getting more time in prison after recklessly disregarding all the rules in there immediately. And Mary Cosby from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City being exposed for running a literal cult. We've already talked about her and her cult in the past, right? It's not news, but now they've decided to dedicate a full-blown documentary episode on HBO Max, on TLC, I think it is as well, to this woman and her shady operation that she's running over there. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's not going to premiere until January, but they did just release a trailer that looked really good, I've got to say. And lastly, we have to talk about Northwest. Kim and Kanye's daughter, Northwest. She's got this like dermal filler piercing or whatever you call it on her finger. She's only 12 years old, you guys. To see this, to see the acrylics, to see her walking around in these corset, these outfits of, that in my opinion are a bit much, for somebody of her age, and wigs and stuff. Like it's all so sad and strange. She seemed like a charismatic, funny girl with a great, big, bubbly, lively personality. And I just hate to see that not be channeled in a better, more productive way than this. It's kind of reminding me of Farrah Abrahams's daughter, Sophia. She too has a big, larger than life personality. She's very artistic and stuff. And she's been allowed to do a lot of body modifications only. She's older than North, and I will say, in Farrah's defense, that she did take her time with Sophia and allowing her to do this stuff like the fangs, the piercings here and whatnot. But nonetheless, she still is getting a lot for her age, the tattoo and stuff. Like it's a lot going on. We're going to get into all of that in today's episode of the Morning Report. Okay, you guys, let me take a little sip of my iced coffee. I'm on my second one today. So yeah. Get ready, you guys. We're going to talk about that in today's episode of the show. Let's think. I'm thinking it probably would be great to start off with the Chadwick Boseman story. But you know what I have to do? this is what I like to do actually, because whenever I go over the list of like topics that we're going to be discussing, a lot of you guys like to chime in already, which is super exciting because then I get to bookmark them and get to them when we get to the actual story as well. So let me see. Terry had said something a little bit earlier here. She had said Barbara Sevilla is it was a song, wasn't it? Emma Fudd's Barber and singing the song. Okay, so there it is. I know the song. I have like the melody or something like that in my head. Okay, well, thanks for the explanation. I used to love me some Looney Tunes. And thank you, boss lady. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to you, Steph, as well. I had a really, really good B-Day. I had the best time. Steph says, I thought you were a November Scorpio. No worries. Happy belated birthday, my sister from another mister. I pray you get everything and more. Thank you, thank you. And I pray the same for you, Steph. Like, you know what? This is going to be a good year for you, 2026 especially. You got this, Phil. Good morning, Deshauna. Nice to see you. And listen, we've got a super chat from one of my top super chatters, I should say. So thank you so much for the super chat, I should say. Debonair brother, prayers the Diddy fam will get through. Listen, he has to get through an extra month of prison time, and I love that for him. You are absolutely right. Prayers up. Let's hope he gets even more time. Just saying. Thanks so much for the super chat again. Now, you guys, and hey, Michelle, good morning to you too, boo. Why don't we get into the Chad Boseman story? Because listen, sometimes the playback posse doesn't like how long I be talking. So I had to get back to doing my timestamps so they can jump around. But let's get into the Chadwick Boseman story, you guys. So he's finally getting his well overdue star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on November 20th. So in exactly 7 days from now, next Thursday, the star is going to be located at 6904 Hollywood Boulevard in Los Angeles, California. And so Ryan Coogler, the director behind Black Panther, the movie that really, 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 truly turned Chadwick Boseman into a Hollywood, into a household name, I should say, Viola Davis, and his co-star in Black Bottom will appear at the ceremony, and they will be speaking at the ceremony as well. But the person who's going to be accepting the award on his behalf is his wife or his widow, Simone Ledward-Boseman, who you can see in this photo with him. The Hollywood Chamber of Commerce said that the star celebrates his extraordinary legacy and his lasting impact both on and off the screen. He also received a posthumous Oscar Award nomination, and he won a Golden Globe, Critics' Choice, and SAG Awards for his work in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom as well shortly after his passing. Viola Davis has said that she broke down when she learned of Chadwick's death, describing him as a man who lived with integrity and purpose. If you would like to watch the ceremony, you definitely can go ahead and watch it in live stream, which is going to be on walkoffame.com. Chadwick Boseman seemed like such a, people where they seem to have like such sweet, tender souls like that. That's the type of person that he appeared to be, and so to see him being celebrated and honored and so beloved and whatnot, even, all these years post his passing and whatnot, is a really special thing. I'm really happy. Listen, it's never too late to go ahead and give somebody the honor, the flowers that they deserve. And he definitely is somebody who deserves to be honored, right? Just saying. Angie missed the Northern Lights. Hopefully you get to catch them the next time. They looked so beautiful in all the photos that I saw online. Good morning, Bunny. Nice to see you, boo. Good morning, Allie. Thank you. It was so fun. Thank you. Oh, Steph's over here hitting me up with a super chat. You love to see it. Thanks so much for the super chat, Steph. Steph says, happy birthday. Thank you. Scorpio season. And we're not done yet. Shout out to the rest of my Scorpios, my November Scorpios. Winnie the Cat says, Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever, indeed. He really was so special as an actor. And y'all know, I'm not really into like all the Marvel type stuff, but there was just something about the way that Black Panther was done, from his acting to Ryan Coogler's directing, that was just so special. And so I'll always applaud them for that. Hey, Two Snaps, nice to see you, boo. I saw your comment a little bit earlier. I think you had the first comment for today's episode, but it didn't I got deleted or something like that by the time I got to rolling. So shout out to you again, Boo. And exactly, Winnie, he seemed like a really, really genuine person. I think he was doing a lot of work with hospitals and whatnot, like helping and supporting children with cancer before his passing. And so just to see that be recognized alongside his acting and his impact is really, really special. Ooh, we got a super chat. It makes sense. Y'all are spoiled today. Mims, I've been thinking about you, for a while now. I have to hit you up in the DMs. I hope you're doing well. Happy belated birthday, friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. P.S. Anyone who thought Mary Cosby wasn't a cult leader must never have watched The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm telling you, it was always there. The signs were always there. But the thing is, Mary is just so kooky and so strange that a lot of people, perhaps myself included, are willing to put aside how problematic she is for the sake of just having some damn good television, And I think even beyond the cult stuff she's got going on, she is just a mess of a person, and again, an incredibly problematic person. And I think, didn't they try to like fire her once over that? They're like, oh, like, okay, people are saying you're problematic, Mary. You're getting fired. Then they were like, what the hell are we doing? Like, she's good TV, this. And I think this is what destroyed a lot of like these television shows, like especially the Housewives, is that a lot of times the fans, when they realize that somebody's not this angel, they're a bad person or they're narcissistic or whatever, which in my opinion is what it takes to even be on reality TV, they start complaining, they start petitioning, they want these people gone. But these problematic, messy, like insane people are what makes the shows so interesting in the first place, right? So they decided to kind of backpedal on that and bring her back. Hey, Jen, I miss Chadwick Boseman. Did you see the video of him singing on stage with D'Angelo? No, I didn't. I have to go and check that out. So now it's two angels together, like that is absolutely beautiful, because we did lose D'Angelo not too long ago. I don't even think it's been a month. I think it's only been a few weeks since his passing was announced. And so just the idea of seeing the two of them together, doing something as beautiful as making art together, singing and whatnot is so special. Minnie says, my son's a Scorpio. He turns 13 next week. Shout out to your son. Happy early birthday to your November Scorpio. Hope you guys have a great time celebrating him, Minnie. Woody says, plus Michael B looked amazing with his shirt off in Black Panther. Just saying, he did. Are they doing another, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there another Black Panther coming out? And then this time there's a new Black Panther, but the Black Panther, is it Damson Idris? Or am I making that up? Y'all let me know. Am I making that up? I think it was Damson Idris who was the new Black Panther. I could be wrong, though. I really could be wrong. Now, you guys, why don't we get into our second story? Y'all know how excited I am. Anytime we got to talk about Diddy getting in trouble with the law, count me in. I am so excited, living my best freaking life. I seriously think that this cured my seasonal depression, you guys, finding out that Diddy got more time in prison. It had me rubbing my feet together. Guards, bring him out. Bring him out. We have to sentence him to more time behind bars. I am so happy, you guys. Honestly, it's just like a breath of fresh air to hear that he's being held accountable. And another one, I forgot to get the details to talk to you guys about this today, but just another thing. Tory Lanez has been trying to appeal his sentencing, but the judge has decided to uphold it as well. So I'm really happy that that's another person who also has to stick with their prison sentencing. Of course, Diddy got his extended, but Tory Lanez is not going to have his shortened. So that is great news as well. Like, there's just so much good news coming out in the world of convicts. You love to see it. You really, really do. So let's get into Diddy. By the way, his new mugshot just dropped. Take a look. What do y'all think? Do you think that the court illustrator got it right when she was drawing those pictures of Diddy? She had him with the gray hair and stuff. There he is in the mugshot with his gray hair. Who knew that he was out here dyeing his hair this entire time to have it look as black as it looked? Hang on. Let me go ahead and pull up one of these court interpreter photos. Okay, you guys, I've got two of them to show to you guys. So this is the actual mugshot of Sean Demon Diddy Combs. What is he? 80 centimeters tall. And these are the court drawings. Listen, to me looks pretty accurate. Right? That looks pretty damn accurate to me. I think she did a damn good job of portraying him. The one thing I will say that's quite surprising here is that in a lot of the reports, they said that Diddy lost a drastic amount of weight. He looked extremely different, blah, blah. But here in the mugshot, the only thing that I really notice is the fact that he's got a lot of white hair, or gray hair, I should say, a lot more so than the weight thing. I don't really notice anything too much as far as his weight is concerned. I don't know if that's the same for you guys or if you guys feel any differently. This is another court sketch that came out of him. So yeah, y'all let me know if you felt as though those court sketches were accurate, okay? And in the meantime, let's get into why exactly it is that Sean Demon Diddy Combs was sentenced to a little bit more time in prison. This is something we talked about actually in yesterday's episode of the Morning Report. Do you guys remember? We're talking about how he was actually currently like, the forces that be, I should say, in prison were currently deliberating on whether or not to give him some sort of formal punishment for allegedly drinking hooch on the prison yard and taking part in a three-way phone call that was forbidden, right? And so now come to find out today, he really formally has been punished, right? So let's get into it. The official tea is that his release date has been pushed back from May 8th, 2028 to June 4th. So almost a full month back. And again, this is due to multiple rule violations. And he only just started serving at Fort Knox and he's already, in this much trouble. It's absolutely insane. Truly, 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 right? So again, started off with him drinking some contraband homemade alcohol. Second of all, it was a prohibited three-way phone call that he was involved with and whatnot. He and his team have been vehemently denying everything, right? And finally at the prison, they're not messing with him. Maybe the judge fell for his quote unquote star power, but over there in the clinkety clink, they do not give a hoot. You have to follow the rules or be punished. And I really do love that they are standing on business with this man and they're not letting him just walk around drunk on the prison yard as if he is on vacation. Now let's see what you guys have to say about the Diddy of it all. By the way, I'm going to be dropping a line if you guys want to hop on and share your opinion via voice or anything like that. Okay, so here is the link for you guys over here. And says, take that, take that, take that. Oh my God, you've got me cackling. Take that. Indeed. Amen to that. And amen. He is so dumb. He is really dumb for real. Lord have mercy. Hang on. How does this show up? Okay. It shows up the same. So there you go, you guys. If you guys want to hop on, share your opinions via audio, video, or anything like that, feel free to go ahead and hit up the call in link. Okay, you guys. So let's see what you guys have to say. It's always such a mess trying to get through the comments to get to you guys' comments. And I'm seeing a lot of stuff coming in for Mary, so I bookmarked it so I can get to that when we do the Mary story next. Okay, so Two Snap says, I'm obsessed with the Diddy of it all too. Amen. Like, it's just so nice to hear that justice is being served and it's swiftly being served. It's not one of those, no commissary for you. It's, you're getting more time. Love that. Hallelujah. Indeed, boss lady. Ronnie says, I'm so happy that he got more time and I hope it continues to go that way. Same here. Apparently he really is truly addicted to drugs and alcohol. And so, he must have been lying to the judge about being clean and sober if he's already out here doing this sort of thing. So if he were to do this again and again and again, I wouldn't be mad at it. Maybe he can rack up an extra year at the end of the day. Why not? Praise the Lord and give him more indeed. Good morning, Carly. Nice to see you. Where have you been, girl? We've been missing you. And exactly, honestly, he deserved it. You guys saw him in those photos. He looked so proud of himself. He looked so happy. He looked so smug. Jamie says, so happy Diddy is stuck in jail extra. Amen, amen, amen. Right? Listen, it looks like we're all on the same page about this guy and all of his clownery, foolery, and whatnot. Like, listen, is it still the prison sentencing that he deserves? No, he deserves so much more time than that. However, it's something, right? In the world of convicts. Well, listen, I'm just saying there's a lot of good news coming up from those peeps, and I am absolutely ecstatic about it. I'm surprised too, Kalia, especially this quickly, but I am ecstatic. Theo says, Diddy strikes me as a very vain man. Ironic considering he was never a looker. Woo! Not y'all coming for his mug. And exactly, right? That's why he was keeping up with the hair dye the way that he was. He must be so pissed that they decided to go ahead and release that mugshot that has him looking crazy. He looks absolutely, a mess, Nothing wrong with having your hair turn gray. Listen, I actually find a head full of gray, silver hair, whatever, to be very, very chic. But he in particular looks a mess. Just saying. Oh my goodness gracious. So let me catch back up with you guys' comments. Mim says, Diddy will forever be a woman-beating addict and no amount of money will change that. Yup. Clock it. Keep him in jail for as long as possible. And I agree. That's where he deserves to be. The fact that there are people who support him, who support Tory Lanez, who want them out, who do not care about what they've done to people, like, it's so frightening to me. You know what I mean? But thankfully, the majority of people do not fall into those categories and are happy to see people like them be put away, the way that they deserve. Steph says the withdrawal of drugs is catching up to Diddy. Exactly. Listen, y'all. It's so much better to stay away from this stuff. It can really wreak havoc on your life. I think it was in Monday or Tuesday's episode of the show where we talked about Paris Jackson and how, she burnt a hole in her nostrils, doing all that coke and whatnot. Like, this stuff could really, truly ruin your life. She was also addicted to heroining, all sorts of things. It's best to just stay away from this. If anybody ever offers you any rugs, you say no, then you slap them in the face. No, I'm joking. Just say no. Just say no. Truly, you really don't know what type of personality you have. You could be the person who gets hooked. Some people can do it recreationally once in a blue moon. Some people will get hooked off the first hit. So just don't do it. Good morning, Acacia. Nice to see you, boo. Now that toilet bowl hooch. Yup, the toilet bowl Fanta hooch. I think it was the orange Fanta that it was too. Like Cami says, that picture doesn't look like him. It looks like someone else, right? He looks so low budget. He really, really does. Let me put it back up because I know it's going to piss him off. I'm sorry, Demon Dizzy. No, I'm not actually. I am not sorry. I am putting your photo up, your mug up unapologetically. Just, ugh. He looks like somebody who goes to these functions for like these very young girls and just hangs out by the wall in the corner, offering to buy them drinks or something like that. Just gross. Amber, what is going on with YouTube? What a mess. I'm happy you found me nonetheless. So nice to have you here, boo. Happy Thursday. It's almost the weekend. Ooh, ooh. I'm thinking of going to this exhibition that they've got on Studio Ghibli here in Paris over the weekend. Because listen, I didn't really watch his like movies like that. I think I've only seen 2 movies, but I like him. I like his style. And he seems to be like really popular, especially here. So I'm excited to continue to I'm excited to continue to, learn more about him and whatnot. So I'm really, really hoping that I get to enjoy that this weekend. And I'm thinking of busting a move as well. I think I might go dancing Saturday night, you guys. Just saying, I might. The weather is so beautiful here. You don't even need to walk outside with a coat right now. It's like kind of like warm, so I'm really loving it. Bunny says, I thought Diddy was getting out early. It estimated he was leaving July 2026 because he passed classes for DV and rugs. He proved he faked those classes. Exactly. He does not respect anything. I do fear still that there is that possibility of him getting out early. I still do fear there is a Trump pardon as well in his future. But for now, I'm celebrating the little win that we've gotten here. Good morning, Autumn. Good morning, Lakba. Nice to see y'all. When he says hating Diddy is unifying, I love that. It's true. It's true. It's true. Carly says, my grandma passed almost a month ago. So sorry to hear that. Ouch. May she rest in peace, Carly. And I got so sick. I was in the hospital for about 2 weeks with a lung infection. When it rains, it pours, doesn't it? Oh my God, Carly, I'm so sorry. I'm glad to be back. And especially hearing Diddy has gotten more time. Listen, thank God. Thank God you're doing okay. I'm so sorry about your grandma. And just, wow, hang in there. it sucks when things hit you like that back to back in life. Like, Jesus, let me get up. Damn. Yes, Theo, she really, really did. She was doing it all, and this is what we talked about. Was it not in yesterday's episode, or maybe it was in Tuesday's episode? But yeah, Paris, like, all she was doing was rugs because she doesn't have a sense of purpose. She's got all this money, but no purpose. What does she do with her days? Nothing, And so when you don't really have anything to work towards or motivating you or this or that, then you're hanging out with a bunch of other losers or lost people or something like that. You find yourself in these kinds of situations, right? Thank God she was able to overcome it and everything like that. But it was a very, very, very scary thing. And she's so young. What is she, like 24 years old? And she's recovering from all this stuff. Like, that's a lot to be dealing with at such a young age. Truly, truly, truly. Good morning, Jaleesa. How was work, boo? Hope you're doing well. Were you able to rebook another Paris trip? I sure hope so soon. Good morning, Mocha Madness. Nice to see you. Happy Thursday. Now, you guys, I think our next story was the Mary story. I have so many of y'all's comments bookmarked for this Mary Cosby story, I gotta say, because I think this is going to be the one that, like, really sends you guys over the edge. Oh, my God. So why don't we get into it? Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Mary Cosby is running a cult, right? Allegedly. And this is something that we've all allegedly perhaps maybe known for several years now, right? These allegations are not new. It's just that they're finally being put together in one dedicated documentary discussing her church, her weird marriage to her step-grandfather, and all that stuff. Okay. So let's get into what this documentary, where it's going to be airing, why it's coming out, all that sort of thing, right? So it's TLC that decided to release this documentary. It's a 3-part series called The Cult of the Real Housewife. And it is going to examine claims that Mary and her husband, grandpa's church operates as a full-blown cult. And so the documentary is going to be exploring her marriage to him as well. And it's also going to feature former church members speaking out for the first time ever. And they're going to be sharing stories of what they describe as misconduct, control tactics, and loyalty enforcement as well. It's also going to feature a cult expert who is going to analyze how... Lord have mercy. Sorry, you guys. It scared the crap out of me. My neighbors, they run a fucking Airbnb. So there's always like groups of like people coming in, and someone just dropped their suitcase outside of the door. Anyway, so they're going to have a cult expert to analyze how members may have been kept in line at this church and why there has been no accountability enforced up until now, aka why it is that they've been able to get away with this for so long. And so we're also going to be hearing some exclusive recordings as well for the first time ever of Mary and Robert's sermons and rare archival footage from the church's early days as well. And so overall, the documentary is going to be asking a major question, which is how have Mary and Robert managed to avoid consequences for so long? So you guys, like I said, this has been out for a really long time. These allegations against Mary, it's been at least 3 years. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if my memory serves me correctly, it's been at least 3 years. We've also already heard footage of Mary saying she doesn't like broke people. Her people have to keep on donating to her, donating. And when they tell her they don't have any more to keep donating and feeding themselves, she'll insult them, she'll degrade them and whatnot. So again, how is it that they've been able to get away with it for this long? And what happens now? Okay, so they dropped the documentary, but then what happens after the documentary as well, right? So I'm really curious about that. Like I said, you guys have had a lot of comments that came in earlier about this documentary. So I want to get to some of those comments before getting to you guys' new comments about the documentary as well. Okay, so let's see. Allie says the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City was built around Mary. You know what? I think they knew they struck gold when they saw that a woman was married to her step-grandfather and ran a church that worshipped herself as if she were, the god or whatever of it. So I definitely can believe that as well. And so she also says Mary was demoted due to her not going to one reunion, allegedly based upon people going to her church and harassing from other ladies on the Housewives. So you see, she has faced consequences, but because she is so entertaining and she does so much for the ratings of Housewives of Salt Lake City, they couldn't stick by this punishment that they had given her, right? Because they've already done this with other housewives that were really, what is the word for somebody that is like, people polarizing. They've done this with other housewives that are incredibly polarizing. And every time they do it, right, they fire because people are saying, oh, I'm going to boycott, blah, blah, blah. What happens? The show turns to crap because then nobody is going to fill in that big, bold place anymore. Everybody is too damn scared. But Mary doesn't give an F. She's going to fill that place. And so I think she's still, unfortunately, very much necessary on Salt Lake City. Mem says Mary is perfect for reality TV because she's bat-ish crazy. But when you hear how she gets money from her parishioners, you can see the cult behavior, not to mention her need for expensive clothing. And expensive indeed. And do not forget, this woman has not even just houses, mansions all over the United States of America, mansions that she doesn't even step foot in, right? She's got a very, very expensive lifestyle. But this is the thing. Why are people still going and giving money to rich pastors? If your pastor is rich, you should be asking questions. I saw this thing, it was going viral. It was of this pastor who's demanding from his parishioners to donate $2,000 a piece. In today's economy, even in a better economy, like a 2016, 18, whatever, asking a single person or a family to donate $2,000 is absolute insanity, right? Especially when you are already rich. Why are you rich as a pastor? It just does not make any sense. I don't know how people are still so gullible. It makes me sad, bewildered, and intrigued. I really would love to see a documentary on the psychology behind people giving away their hard-earned money to these scammers. It's insane. It truly, truly is absolutely insane. I just don't get it. You know what I mean? And then there was this one lady, a parishioner, who went, she donated $1,500 or something. And the preacher was like, that's it. I said 2,000. How dare you? And she didn't take her money back. And then on top of that, here comes Tyler Perry to give him even more money. Not even to the lady who, was so overly generous. The whole thing was insane. Good morning, East Awesome. How are you? We've missed you, boo. What are you up to? Jamie says, as much as I'm not a Trump person, but I don't think he will let Diddy out. I really don't. Well, amen. I hope you're right. From your lips to God's ears, please, please, please do not let the demon diddler out at all. He does not deserve to see the light of day. He really doesn't. Two Snap says, I believe every word about Mary, right? Listen. It's just so obvious. There's already been so much proof released, audio of her own voice insulting these people, degrading these people and whatnot. It is what it is, right? I will be watching it. What about you guys? Are you going to be tuning into the documentary? Sorry, it's not a documentary, is it? Yeah, I think it is. I think it's a documentary. By the way, Up and Adam is going to be on it too, which is cool. Theo says, I'm very surprised the documentary about Mary is coming out. I feel like this should have happened years ago when the claims were most publicized. Exactly. You remember these claims too. And what were they releasing around that time? They were already releasing housewife documentaries. That was the era where they were releasing the Erica Jane documentaries and her husband, Thomas Girardi. They were releasing the thing about Randall, who was engaged to Lala from Vanderpump Rules. By the way, you guys, I'll give you a quick update on where I'm at in my Vanderpump Rules rewatch. I just finished season 9. I'm on part 2 of the reunion. Sheena's fiance, Brock, the ultimate grifter, the way he tried to get Randall to pay for his engagement to Sheena, right? His proposal. Then he tried to get Tom Sandoval to pay for it. Then he tried to hijack James and Raquel's engagement party to marry Sheena there. How did she not get the ick from that guy? He is such a grifter. Ew. East says, TLC is the ghetto of TV. Right? Aren't all churches cults? Well, I'm asking that as a cradle Catholic that had to memorize prayers and hymns. Listen, it's a good question. And I love TMZ. I love my ghetto. Leave me alone. I love my TLC. Steph says, Mary has come a long way from season 1 and those previous wigs. She looks way better. Listen, when she looks good, I kind of have a Beyonce look to her. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if it's the eyes. the nose are wet, but I think she has like an air of Beyonce to her sometimes. Listen, I'm not saying they're on the same level, but you know, when she looks good, she looks really, really good. Don't come for her farts though. She's such a strange person. Like, I don't know how I'd feel about her in real life. She's probably the type of person I'd avoid in real life because she'd be kind of like too strange. This shows that people are sheep, unfortunately. It really does, you know? Like, I will say though that it's nice to see that like people are falling less and less to these things, you know? Like millennial generation is a lot less croyant que than the previous generation, and then the Gen Zs are even less likely to be into these like cults or, you know, whatnot. So it gets, you know, harder and harder by the generation to get people to commit to these things. Thank God. Gwen's got a new photo, y'all. Gather around. I just zoomed in, Gwen. Let me see where y'all at. Is this another photo of your dad? Is this a tailgate that you guys were doing? Please forgive me. I do not know what team this is. What team is this? I know it's football, but I don't know much more than that. I hope the hospital sent you home with a lung exerciser. Oh, great tip over here. Hang on. But she's giving some tip. We have a co-reporter who's been going through an awful lot. She just got out of the hospital with some lung issues, and so Gwen is giving her some great tips. I got a collection of them, and they're handy to have. Thanks for the tip. Mary Duda says, has crimes been committed though? Having a cult is not necessarily illegal. Is it not illegal? I'm actually quite surprised about that. I feel like having a cult should be illegal, right? Especially because a lot of times in these cults, they get into, and by the way, the co-reporter that Gwen was talking to, I think it was Carly, are cults not illegal? I really thought they were, because they usually have these people doing really weird things. Winnie the Cat says it's interesting from a psych standpoint of just how easily people are manipulated. You know what it is? It is, you know, and it just makes me sad because I feel like a lot of these people, they just really need like hope. You know, they're probably going through some really rough times and they just need that hope. And that's what these churches, you know, all these other places of worship and whatnot represent for them. And the people who are grifters in these communities, they know that and they take full advantage, you know, of such vulnerable people. And it's so sad. And I unfortunately do agree with you, Two Snaps, that Bravo definitely is the problem in this at the end of the day. And Mary is also right, which is that they always win at the end of the day too. All these lawsuits, there have been so many lawsuits against Bravo, against Andy, but nobody has been able to actually take them down. Winnie the Cat says she stuffed her pockets with the righteous. She really does. Look at her. She's got multiple mansions. Guys, ask yourselves before you give money, you know, is whoever this person is, pastor, whatever you call these people, are they rich? Because if they're rich, I am not giving a damn thing. Absolutely freaking not. No. Good morning, Shelby. Nice to see you, boo. Happy Thursday. Two Steps is old. Just listen, and it makes me so damn sad. I think that there was a time where these places of worship really did were created with the goal of helping the community and whatnot. But unfortunately, again, a lot of grifters have really truly taking advantage and ruined the name of all of these places. Kahara says, I'm sure Mary's church isn't different from many churches around the country. Exactly. Unfortunately. And yes, Shelby, we just did the Diddy story. I'm trying to remember where we did it. I didn't do the timestamp, but yeah, it was just before this story. East says, Mary's takedown is getting old. As a Black person, I'm giving every Black person the benefit of the doubt through year end. Listen, you only have a 1 month and a half, boo. Imagine what Mary has gone through growing up as a Black girl in Utah. I definitely do think she's gone through a lot being a Black girl in Utah, but those audios, the way she treats those people and demands all that money and whatnot, I don't know if that makes up for it. Fluffy says, with the news information on the Epstein files, it would be damning if Trump pardoned him right now. Ooh, good point. Oh, that stuff about him spending hours with these little underage victims, allegedly, scary stuff. Hey, Deshauna, my mom always jokes that I'm related to them, LOL. My dad's last name is Cosby, and I don't know a bunch of them, and there's a lot. Really, that's absolutely crazy. Can you imagine? Do you do that stuff, those like genealogy tests and whatnot? Imagine finding out you're related to Mary Cosby and her grandpa husband. Gwen says, my dad's friends hosted a Packers, that's who it is, tailgate on Sunday. The picture on the table is my dad when he was little. That is so sweet. What good friends, lifelong good friends. Absolutely Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love that they did that to honor him. Shelby says, I think the younger generation is more selfish with their time and money, making it harder to suck them into cults. And thank God. No offense to the older generations, but y'all are so easy. It is so easy to play, you guys. It really, really is. Netflix has released so many documentaries exposing you guys in various cults, right? Whether it's yoga cults, Christian cults, Mormon cults, whatever, like it's so easy to suck y'all into some damn cults. One thing y'all live for is a cult. But the younger generation is just not playing that. Thank God. Anyway, listen, you guys, I do have to drink some water. So give me a second while I have my water. We got a word from some of our sponsors. And on the flip side, by the way, one of my sponsors is Philo. You can sign up for a 30-day free trial, right? And this documentary about Mary Cosby, you can stream it on Philo because they will allow you to have HBO Max, which it'll play on, and TLC, which it'll play on. But like I said, you get a 30-day free trial. This documentary comes out in January. So wait until December to activate your free trial, just an FYI. But that is one of the sponsors of this channel. So we're going to be watching it and discussing it together on this channel when it comes out, by the way. Okay, so here's a word from some of our sponsors. On the flip side, we're going to finish off with our final story of the day, which is Northwest getting all of these dermal piercings or whatever.
The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running. Tired of learning languages in boring, frustrating ways? Try TalkPal. TalkPal is your personal AI language tutor. It teaches you languages in fun, engaging ways. It gives you real-time feedback, assesses your pronunciation, and the learning process is personalized just for you. Join millions of other learners and start your language learning journey today.
All right, and we are back. Listen, I saw a comment that had me ready to crash out. I think, listen, we're not even going to get into the final story. I'm ready to end this live. Oh, Terry says, Grace, we are the older generation. We're becoming, and you know what? This breaks my heart. I'm fighting back tears, but I will tell you, Terry, I was on the Reddit earlier, and in one of my subreddits, somebody asked, they said, what does star 67 mean? I was like, oh my God, ouch, I'm old. What does star 67 mean? That was that thing to hide your ID or whatever. If you wanted to prank call people, I feel like you guys know, right? Are we not all millennials? I thought everybody knew that. So to find out that there are people alive and able to access the internet who do not remember the star 67 era is so painful to me. It really, truly is. I'm so sad to hear that. I am so sad to hear that. I'm so triggered. Jamie said this will be on my watch list. My point is why Trump won't let him out. This is going to be good, but oh, Mary, LOL. And listen, I hope you're right, boo. I really, really, really hope you're right. And to stop, wonderfully sad that God is accessible to all that want him in their lives. He does not charge you money. Do not get suckered into these things. Lord have mercy. Winnie the Cat says, have you ever watched The Righteous Gemstones? This is reminding me of that. No, where can you watch it? And this is what, cult type stuff? Is it Netflix, I guess? I might check it out. Listen, I'm going to be doing my nails. My nails have grown out. So I'm going to be doing my nails after I upload my channel member videos. So yeah, I need something to watch. But I did, and I don't remember what was this. I was talking to somebody on yesterday's show. Somebody, was it Ali or Star? Somebody who had suggested that I watch the Wendy Williams documentary on Netflix. They just put it on Netflix. So I might be watching that. Anyway, let's get, the dog farted, y'all. Ugh. Let's get into our final story. We got to talk about Northwest. Listen, again, Northwest seems like such a lovely, fun, confident young girl. She's only 12 years old, but you wouldn't know it from these types of photos of her in a corset bustier, very, very inappropriate for her age. The rest of the outfit, who cares, right? Listen, what was I doing at 12 years old? I was wearing my mini skirts that I would not dare wear today, right? I wasn't wearing these moon boots, but they had an episode of Arthur with moon boots and whatnot. So I guess maybe it was kid appropriate. She's got this cute little heart bag. That's fine. But again, the corset to me is what's inappropriate here. The wig is also strange and inappropriate. The choker is strange and inappropriate. The mother being dressed like this around her, strange and inappropriate. But again, overall, I think North has one of those beautiful personalities that needs to be properly channeled. And unfortunately, her parents are not properly channeling her personality, right? In my opinion, anyway. And so now she had the internet going crazy when she posted on her joint TikTok with Kimberly Noel Kardashian that she had gotten her fingers pierced. So she got her middle finger pierced on both hands. You know, here's my thing though. I do not understand why a 12-year-old girl has long acrylic nails or nail extensions in general. I think it's very, very strange. You know, I think it's a bit inappropriate. I remember I was wearing these as a child as well, but for me, it was probably like from the age of 16. Yeah, I was wearing this stuff from like the age of 16. I think 12 is a bit too young for this, right? Before we even get into the piercing. Then we get into the piercing. You know, it's under the skin or whatever, which I think is a lot for a girl of her age. I worry that it's going to get caught on things. And it just doesn't, I don't know. I don't love it. It's placed under the skin surface. It feels like a bit much for her age. And, you know, this next picture could make you guys queasy. So look away if you have a hard time with kind of like these kinds of piercing photos, because it's going to show you the thread or the needle going directly under her skin. Okay. So 3, 2, 1, here goes the photo. Very, very, you know, yikes for a girl of her age. You know, she's only 12 years old. Why is this happening? You know, again, I think it's great. She's got this, you know, exciting, punky style and personality. You know, maybe they could have gotten her some fake ones. Maybe they should have put some nail glue, lash glue, glued this stuff onto her fingers for her to get the vibe or whatever, similar to when they did the fake tattoos for her. But like to actually allow it to be a full-blown piercing feels like a bit much. I feel like a lot of things that they allow for her feel like a bit much. And it just makes me sad for her because it opens her up to a lot of criticism. She's already receiving a lot of criticism for her personality. Remember the episodes of the Kardashians where she was judging Met Gala outfits and stuff, and she was talking to the designer who was working on Kim's outfit, saying it looked cheap, it looked this, it looked that, like just being really disrespectful. I feel like when the parent doesn't step in and correct this sort of stuff, it leaves the kid in the pathway to be dragged by people, which in my opinion is not okay. Winnie the Cat says at 12, I was still playing with Barbies. Seriously, let them be kids. These Hollywood parents need to stop the actualization of such young ages, in my opinion. That's how I felt when I saw her outfit that I had just put up there. Like, why is a 12-year-old in a corset and a push-up doing a pap stroll next to her mom in a nightgown? Like, huh? Terry says it's North's mom, Farrah. Like you would think it is, right? Because Farrah Abraham's daughter is on her own body modification journey as a young girl. You know, she's got these snake bite piercings, which I gotta be honest with you guys, I don't mind the snake bite piercings. I had a friend in the 8th grade who got that done. I don't know how old we are in the 8th grade. Were we like 15 or something? So like, whatever. And then she started getting like the fangs put over her teeth, which was way too much. Then she got like this giant tattoo on her stomach and whatnot. Like, it's all so much. I don't know why they're saying yes to this stuff. Terry says, I knew it was going to be Farrah because what other mess would it be? Except this time it's Kim. Kim is allowing her daughter to go down this path, and it's crazy. I'm so surprised by her, and I'm surprised by Chris as well as the grandma in this situation. Like, this doesn't seem like something that, you know, those girls would accept or would encourage at all. So to see it happening in real time is crazy. It really, really is. Winnie says, I always knew Farrah wanted to be Kim, but never expected Kim to want to be like Farrah. And that's the thing. If you're starting here already at 12 years old, how do you draw the line? You know, when you've already been so permissive and whatnot, it's crazy to me. Steph says, off topic, I've seen Kale interview Tamara Mowry. Did y'all talk about that in previous weeks? I think I listened to half of that interview, but I didn't listen to the full thing. Did she spill any good tea? Because sometimes, and I know that was on Barely Famous. Sometimes on Barely Famous, she doesn't really like divulge much about her own life. But, you know, if she divulged some stuff, please let me know and I'll go back and check it out, Steph. Winnie the Cat also found out that she's related to Mariah Carey. Sprinkle girl. Listen, I love that for you. How did you find out? Was it like 23andMe, you're related to this person who's related to this until you get to that point with her? Let's see what else you guys have to say. And I do agree. After Charles Manson, cults probably should have become illegal. You know, it's really crazy to me that they are not. But you know what? It's probably really difficult to even define what exactly a cult is because, you know, it's very loose. It really, really is. Let's see. Kelly says, you guys are still babies. I'll just be over here with my microfiche. What is that? Oh, no. And floppy disk. I know floppy disks, but I don't know a microfiche. What is that? Oh, my God. Steph says, since North was a baby, Kim always carried her around like an accessory, right? And it's, you know, in line with that accessory thing, because Kim is a glam girl and whatnot, I thought that she would, you know, her daughter would be a glam girl, a girly girl. So to see her turn out this way, nothing wrong with it. You don't have to be exactly like your mom, of course, but I'm quite surprised by it. And to see it be so encouraged to the point of allowing her to get these, you know, painful piercings at such a young age. Carly says, listen, I got about 12 piercings. Damn, girl. All removable. I'm an adult and got most of mine whilst being an adult. That being said, my underage kid cannot have dermals. That's way too permanent. And you know what? You know, and I feel like it's harder coming from somebody who likes piercings, you know, wants to express themselves through piercings and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like, I think that you are absolutely reasonable. I think that these are things that North or Sophia should be able to get, like when they're 18 and able to sign for it themselves versus being underage. Steph says, since North was a baby, sorry, I just read that. Allie says it's unsanitary for a child to have that piercing. And that's what I've been hearing a lot of too. Listen, y'all, I use like a loofah and I use like gloves in the shower. So the idea of one of these things, getting caught on the stuff, you know, you're using to scrub your body, like, oof, you know, or maybe getting caught on like, you know, you're reaching for something. Like, what is the point? I don't get it. What is the point of this? Carly says fake piercings can still be a thing. Like, where are the stick-on earrings? Right. We even had fake gauges when I was a teen. Like, there's no need for this at a young age. Exactly. I think they could even have like jewels of rings that like, you know, play the illusion of being these dermals and whatnot. Like, what does a 12-year-old even know about dermals? Like, who is she hanging around with? You know, like, this is so strange. Ali says, my friend had a bunch of journals on their face as grown women and they struggled to maintain its cleanliness. Oh, dermals. It ended up having to have, oh my God, surgery to have it removed. Oof, yuck, ouch, ouch. Oh my God. And it's true, there's always so much risk with those sorts of things. I don't know, y'all. Terry says, I wasn't even allowed to wear girly clothes, really, until high school. This is a lot for me, but she probably needs another outlet. Damn, why weren't you allowed to wear girly clothes? Theo says he can't do tattoos and piercing. Really? Not even like a little ear or something like that, like ears, nose. I have no offense to the brow piercing people, but that's one piercing I cannot stand. I can't stand the brow piercing and I cannot stand the Monroe piercing as well. People always ask me if I have a Monroe because I have like a mole here or whatever. I'm like, no. So that's why I don't like it. It feels like cultural appropriation. My culture is not a costume. Put the piercing down. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. The cat says hands are so dirty. Exactly. Why open up? Exactly. What is the point? I don't get it personally. You know, I think there are some people where it fits their aesthetic and it's cool and it's fun for them. But a 12-year-old, it feels a bit young. Gwen says, yeah, no dermals for kids. There are all kinds of fake piercings. Yep. There's no reason to jump to something permanent. Exactly. Kim, I'm disappointed. Ali says, I think Chicago is the girly girl. You know what? You're probably right. You know, and again, I don't mind like North style being more like punk rock or whatever. It's just they're doing too much. I don't think she should be into corsets and push-ups and these piercings and whatnot at her age, right? Her mother has no control over her. Exactly. You know, and it's sad to watch. And the dad is completely checked out. Like, I'm sorry, but Kim and Kanye, like, are they okay? Like, they don't really seem cut out for this, in my humble opinion. Winnie the Cat, your comment made me laugh. Ask Amber Portwood why tummy tattoos are a bad idea, right? We all saw that. Nikki, you're back. Hey, boo. How are you? Happy Thursday. Hope you're doing well. Gwen says, microfiche is how my public library keeps a record of old newspapers. Oh, that's the only reason I know this, and I'm 34. Listen, you're young too. That's so cool, though. Wow, I had no idea. Winnie the Cat says, my aunt did a deep dive after finding her mom on an alumni book for Sacred Heart. She was looking at a family and found out her mom is related to my grand. Oh my gosh, she went down the rabbit hole. My dad used to be really into that. He used to call up all the family members and demand they contribute to his little, and it's not like the genetic testing. No, like he knew them all. He's like, you contribute all the members of your family to my family tree right now. Like he did not play about his little family tree thing. He has like the most niche hobbies. He was also into like, I say was, he's still alive, but like this is a past hobby of his. He used to also be into like those amateur radio things. So he was like driving around with that thing. He put it on top of the house, like just talking to random people. Oh my God. Shem says, I love piercings. I got a lot of them as an adult though, even my ears, and I feel like that's the thing. Like you should be an adult making these kinds of decisions. Again, I don't care about the little snake bite, whatever, for like the 16-year-olds or whatever. But like when it comes to this stuff, like we're drilling or we're, going under and all this stuff, like more invasive, like that to me is very, very strange. I don't love it for a kid personally. Ooh, look, it's got some cultural tea for us here. Dermal piercings are a big part of the Latina community where I live, and everyone had them when I was a teen, and now they all have matching scars for where they have it removed. See, that's the thing, when you get these things in teens, you grow out of it. What did I get as a teen? I got my belly button pierced when I was 16, and I'm not into it. So now you've got the little, not a scar, but the piercing hole of the thing, and it's, not my fave, but what can you do? Thanks for sharing that little tidbit, by the way. Look, Boss says, I'm going to be 34 in December. Happy early birthday. I'm a millennial, and I think we're a great generation because we're the bridge between the old one, learning to use technology, and the Gen Z sensitivities. We really are, really well placed. I will say that for sure. And we also had really good, in my opinion anyway, like we could play outside. I don't think these Gen Z kids can play outside from what I'm hearing. You know what I mean? Like all we had to do, my parents, they gave us walkie-talkies to go outside with, and we were in a small town, like a really like a village, I like to call it. So like we knew everybody, like we could play out all day, and we just had to respond when they paged us on that walkie-talkie, because they did love to kidnap kids back in the 90s, though. I will say we were a hot commodity. They were snatching us up, but so long as you had a walkie-talkie or whatever, like you were good. So that was fun. But I'm hearing that like Gen Z kids are barely even allowed to like go to the park. And what's the generation after them? Like they're not really going out like that, like, and it's very, 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 very sad. Oh, Shama. Oh my God, you're really on the cusp of a Scorpio Sagittarius. She's going to be 32 in 6 days. I ordered a vegan tiramisu cake. Yummy. I'm going to get into it. Yeah, as you should. You never had tiramisu. Girl, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my God. Well, I hope you love it. It's so good. It is so, so good. I love me a tiramisu, and I think I'm getting hungry, Sean. I'm supposed to be on a diet after all this raclette I've been eating. Ali says, millennials have it the best. Yup, we had to touch grass growing up and also understood social media, like what not to write. Exactly. I feel like we were born at the perfect time. I really do. One says, I did research on all kinds of stuff about the history of my area using the microfiche. That's so funny. I love that. Y'all are so resourceful. Yes. Oh my God. Boss lady says, we outside, child, and we've been outside, weren't we? I loved it. When the streetlights come out, it's time to go home. Yup. And sometimes you're just like, like you're eating at your friend's house for dinner, or they're coming to your house. Like it's just, we figured it out as we went along, and it was just the best. It really was. Oh, my business says, yeah, I remember the training. They would teach to escape a trunk if you got kidnapped. Exactly. And thank God for all of the surveillance we have now. I know some people are against it, but I really think it's a good thing, because I remember how often kids were getting snatched up and kidnapped back in the day. And now that's not really something you really hear about, thanks to all the surveillance we have. Shem said it still happens, but thankfully not like back in the day. Gen Alpha, thank you, is after Z. My sister has Gen Alpha children. They play outside in their yard, though. Well, that's nice that they at least play in their yard, because like from what I'm hearing, but that's the thing, like the local park and stuff. Anyway, but I like that they're outside. Millennials had to read books, and we love reading. I used to love reading. I'm trying to get back into it though. We got to go through it. Oh my God. But that's the thing. I feel like these new generations, they don't go through the ugly duckling phase. It's crazy. Like sometimes you'll see these like, and they look older though. That's the thing though. Sometimes you're like, really? What are you, like 14, 16? And because when I was 14, 16, I did not look like that. I did not dress like that. I certainly was not wearing that amount of makeup, like they're not going through the ugly duckling face anymore. Like, listen, this ugly duckling phase, oh Lord. Theo says, I live in a rural town now, and we don't even have streetlights. Really? Y'all are walking around with your own flashlights? That's crazy. I'm kind of jealous with you. I gotta say, like, I kind of would love the idea of of like a kind of like a countryside sort of a vibe to escape to, because sometimes the city can be a bit overwhelming. Do you have a garden? I always ask people this. Do you have a garden? Do you grow fruits, veggies, herbs? Like, what do you do with all that land? Oh, God. Do you have a hammock? I would have a hammock too. Boss Lady says, I agree. We had a lot of kidnapping. Yep. That one good thing about technology and surveillance. Amen. Amen. Exactly. 2 snaps. Like, they look good. Like, they don't have the ugly face like we used to have, but like, they look kind of old, for what they are. So it's kind of strange, to be honest with you. Damn, Allie, are they really? I just think they look older than what they are, but I don't know about Stanky. Shem says, I'm still a bookworm. I'm reading the book Case, The Origins of Her Discontent. Oh, I heard about that. Oh, nice. And also Her Fault, which has been turned into a TV show on Peacock. Please fill us in on these amazing books that you're reading. I love that for you. I love a bookworm. I'm jealous of you guys because I got that TikTok brain now, rotten. So I have a hard time. But did I show you guys this book that I got for my birthday? I don't want to fall over. Hang on. I got this wonderful book for my birthday. Oh, sorry. The Beyonce book. So this is the first book that I've actually truly been reading in quite a while, right? So I'm really, really happy about that. Then there's another book. It's by Gail Faye. It's about, he is from Burundi. And so he's talking about, because Burundi also went through a similar genocide, the Hutu Tutsi, that went down in Rwanda. So he talks about that as well. So that's been interesting, but I have such a hard time focusing. When my kid was 13, I let her and her friend go to the park by her house alone for the first time while I was at work. A man borrowed her phone, took off running, and she called the police. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Really? Oh my God. The thing, please, teacher. Men should not be coming to little girls for help. That's the first red flag. What a loser. Imagine being such a loser that you have to steal from a literal child. I'm sorry, Shelby. What the F? Steph says, LMAO, I yelled at my daughter yesterday for walking too far behind and asked her if she's trying to get kidnapped. I thought to myself, do they still do that? You know what else is up with a kidnapping thing? I think people realize how much work kids are. And a lot of people are child-free these days. They're like, you know what? Like, on second thought, it's going to be a lot of work if I go snatch one of them up. I'm not cut out for this work. You could keep your child. I was just joking about that with my friend recently, actually. Like, maybe a lot of these people who would be into the whole kidnapping thing are now team child-free. Steph says, LMAO, sir, I keep doing that. Do I have deja vu? I don't have a garden. I'm not that crafty. Oh my God, please grow some potatoes or carrots, at least something, or maybe mint, rosemary. Oh my God, Theo, you've got all that beautiful land. I'm so jelly. Wow. Do you have a hammock? I want a garden, but the way the deer and groundhogs, oh, damn it, that run rampant through my neighborhood. Groundhogs actually give me the heebie-jeebies. Like, the thought of seeing a groundhog just disappearing into the ground just creeps me out so bad. There's something so, like, creepy about it to me. I don't know why. Watch Her Fault. Is that the book that Shem was just telling me she's reading? Hang on. You know what I'm going to do? Like the boomer that I am. And listen, we just went into we're done with the morning report, by the way, y'all, but I'm really enjoying this conversation with you guys. Like the boomer that I am, I'm going to take a little picture of this comment so I can get into these books from Shem, especially because Julius is telling me I have to get into that. So let me see. Boss says the ugly face builds character. Exactly. You have to be tough when you're ugly as a child, because the kids are not going to hesitate to tell you you're ugly. They're going to be like, oh, wow, you are ugly. Theo's, and you don't have the times that other kids that will be saying that to you. They're ugly. You're like, really? I'm ugly, but you're ugly. Theo says, I love to read, but I feel like it's so hard to find good stuff now. I'm trying to find a wintry fantasy novel for this season. I love that. That sounds so good. Ooh, well, I hope you find it, Theo. If anybody has a good suggestion for Theo, do not hesitate to put it down in the chat. One says in Denmark, kids are very rarely kidnapped because we see them as a burden and expensive, right? I feel like that's the mentality these days. People are like, you know what? I don't have the money for this anymore. I'm not doing it. All right, I'll check it out, Shem, Angelisa. Because listen, I'm doing my nails in a second here, so I do need some content to get into. Oh, Theo, I saw Dakota on Watch What Happens Live talking about something. I didn't put two and two together to realize, because she was on this other Netflix show, some kind of murder mystery show. It was pretty good. So, and I do like her, so we'll see. Not the boomer. Oh, Her Fault is so good. Okay, y'all, I have to check it out. All right, y'all. I'll check it out. I hope it's on Philo, because that's what I use to watch this stuff, y'all. My son who's 5 just called me fat yesterday. Oh my God, your biggest op. it be your own people, girl. I'm sorry, Milena. That's crazy. These kids are crazy. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Tracy. Grace Folionis. Really? I have my things open. Why can't you? Please do. I'll see. Are you Boss Lady on IG as well? I'll message you, but like usually my thing is open. Also watch Gone Girl. Is that the movie with Ben Affleck? I've been dying to watch that for a long time. It's on my list of things to watch. So I really do have to get into that too. Deshauna says, I have a garden. We've done banana, peppers, tomatoes, lettuce, okra, sunflowers. Love that. So jelly. That is my dream. I would love to have a garden. But my problem is I'm a city girl. I really, really am. I was thinking of getting a countryside house, but unfortunately, countryside near Paris would still be cold. So I'd still be suffering from like the seasonal depression. So I have to get something further out and down in the South. Boss Lady says there's some good audiobooks as well. Ooh la la. I love that. All the different options. Gwen says, I have a hammock. My garden is pretty lazy though. Well, chaotic gardening is a thing. If you don't want to like properly section everything, just go ahead, sprinkle those seeds and see what survives, you know? My garden is pretty lazy though. I basically toss the seeds. Yeah, good. Put leaves on top and check on things once a week. That's great. I love my grapes because they don't need much. The idea of having your own grapes, that's amazing. Truly, truly. Like, listen, all the prices of all these things is getting so expensive, you know, fruits and veggies. So being able to grow your own is such a flex. It truly, truly is. Go grocery shopping in your own backyard. Are you kidding me? Incredible. Ronnie says, oh my God, my 3-year-old wants to call my husband fat. And she's only 3. Oh my God. I'd be crashing out so bad. What do you mean I'm fat? Acacia says you can garden if you have a patio. Oh, thanks for the tip. And listen, y'all. Acacia has a lovely garden and she does a lot of gardening content on TikTok and on YouTube. So check her out, Houston Rose Gardener. And she also does these beautiful like bouquet tutorials and whatnot if you want some advice on all that stuff. I really love watching your content, Acacia. Tracy says, hey Grace, I know you're from Canada, but have you ever been to Buffalo, New York? That's my hometown. Listen, no, I haven't. I've been to New York a million times, but it was always just like Manhattan. I haven't even been to Brooklyn. I think I've been to Harlem, but that's about it, you know? And it's crazy because I would love to go back to check out Brooklyn, especially. I don't know too much about Buffalo, New York. I can't lie. And I'd also love to see the Lion King in English. Here we've got Le Roi Lion, so the Lion King in French, but no offense to them, but like there's something strange about watching it in a different language. I think like the authentic English version would be like the best. So that is something that I would have loved to be able to watch in New York, but I don't think I'll be back in the States for a while, unfortunately. Anyway, you guys, wow, what a fun morning report. I love our little chat at the end. Maybe that should be like a regular thing just to shoot the ish, you know, like it's so fun to get to know you guys a little bit more. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Morning Report, please don't forget to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And I will be back again tomorrow for the week's final episode, bright and early at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks so much again for being here. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow. Bye now. Enjoy the rest of your